Okay. So sit up nice and tall. We're just going to start with our breath. Just close your eyes. Start to connect with your breath. Just watch the breath as it comes in through the nose and out through the nose. Relax your jaw and soften your temples. Scan your body. Just notice what's going on internally. Just taking note without judgment. Take your shoulders up and then float them back and down. And feel the crown of your head rise up. Let's continue to follow the breath in and out. As you breathe in, feel the chest rise and the belly fill. And then as you exhale, feel the navel pull in toward the spine. And watch the breath travel up and out. Let's do that again. Breath in. And then as you exhale, we pull the navel in and up. We're going to be doing a lot of that this morning. Really engaging the abdominals. And then inhale again. Exhale, engage. And let's take our hands beside our ears. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, bring your palms together. Thumbs will come right between the eyebrows. Take a breath in here. And then exhale, bring your thumbs to your heart center. And again, hands outside of your ears. Inhale. Exhale, quiet the mind. Collect your thoughts. Inhale. Exhale, offer your thoughts to your heart. And then one last time. Inhale. Exhale, quiet the mind. Inhale. And exhale, taking those thoughts and offering them to your heart. Okay. So let's take our arms out wide. Really reach through the fingertips. So you're creating this big length right through the right fingertips all the way to the left. Take a breath in, and then we're going to take the right elbow under the left and maybe bring your back of your hands together or your palms together. If you need to, you can put your hands on your shoulders. And then rest your thumb out on your forehead. Feel the shoulders pulling away from each other. Inhale. Exhale, draw the navel in and up. Inhale. And exhale. Feel the shoulders expanding. Press the elbows up. And then uncross. And bring the arms out. Reach again. Big, long reach. And this time we'll take the left under the right. Bring your palms together or any variation that works for your shoulders today. We're pressing up and forward, and then we bring the thumb mound to our forehead. Again, feel the shoulders pulling away from each other. It's a big stretch across the shoulder blades. If it doesn't work, you can always bring the backs of your hands together. You can hold on to your shoulders. Everyone looks good. All right, one more breath. And then unwind. Bring your hands just down by your hips. Now we're going to twist over to the right. So the left hand will come on your right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale. And as you exhale, draw the navel in, engage the abdominals, and then twist from here. Twist from the belly. And then we're going to come back to center and twist over to the left. So same thing, inhale, exhale, draw the navel in, twist from the belly. And then come on back. We're just going to go through that a couple times. Twist over to the right, inhale, exhale, twist. Inhale back. Exhale, we're twisting from the core. Inhale. Exhale. Connection of the core as we twist. And one more time, inhale. Exhale, twist. And then come on back to center. All right, let's switch our legs around. I'm going to take the right hand over to the right. We're going to reach the left arm up and over. So pressing down through the left hip. Starting to open up, wake up the side body. Inhale, press away with the left sit bone. Reach the left fingertips. Warming up the sides. And then come up, and we'll switch sides. Inhale, reach the right arm up, and exhale. Reach it over as we press away with the right sit bone. Inhale, exhale. You should feel that nice stretch through the side. And then come up. All right, let's make our way onto our hands and knees. Pad your knees with a blanket if you need to. And we'll stack our shoulders over the wrists, our hips over the knees. And then we'll take an inhale here. And as we exhale, take your tailbone toward the knees, push the floor away from you. Look up towards your belly button. And then press down through the tops of your feet and your shins. Draw the navel in and up. So you're actually kind of hugging the inner thighs together. Now we'll inhale, take the tailbone toward the ceiling. Open the chest, maybe reach the crown of the head up. Hold it here. Broaden across the collarbones. And then we'll exhale back to cat pose. And again, pressing through the tops of your feet. Thigh bones press down. Hug your thighs in. Inhale, turn your tailbone back up. Go nice and slow, broad across the collarbones. And let's do that one more time. Exhale back to cat pose, pulling the navel in, hugging the inner thighs toward each other, really pressing through the shins and the tops of your feet. And then we take an inhale back to cow pose. Belly drops, broad across the collarbones. Now come to neutral spine. We're going to stay here. Now we want to imagine that there's a marble on our low back, all right? So we want to keep that marble from rolling off the back. So we're going to root down through the right shin and the left palm of our hand. And then as we exhale, just pick the left knee up just like an inch off the floor. And you can start to Extend the right arm out, and then we're gonna go nice and slow. So using your core strength, extend out. So that marble is on the low back, right? So we're trying not to let that roll off. Hold it here. Reach through the fingertips, reach through the toes that are extended. Inhale, we're gonna bring everything in nice and slow. All right, so next side, same thing. Now we're gonna root down through the right hand and the left shin. We're gonna pick the right knee just about an inch off the floor, and then exhale, extend. Take your time. Keep that marble from rolling off. Reach the fingertips and the foot. Inhale, bring everything in. And we're gonna go through this 2 more times with our breath. So take a breath in. Exhale, lift that left knee and the right hand nice and slow. Reach. Inhale, bring it in. Place it down. Take a breath. And then your exhale, pick the right knee up just about an inch off the mat and then extend out. Inhale, bring it in. And then one more time each side. Exhale, extend. Hug the inner thighs in here even. Inhale, nice and slow, bring it down. And then other side. Exhale, pick the left knee up, extend. Inhale, bring everything in. And then take your knees wide and come to child's pose. Reach your hands out to the top of your mat. Take your tailbone down towards your heels. And then walk your hands over to the right. So walk them over to the right and then take your left on top of your right hand. Come on back to center and then over to the left. And take your right hand on top of your left. All right, come on back to center. We're gonna come back onto our hands and knees. And we're gonna go into downward facing dog. So spread your fingers wide and then lift your hips high. You can keep your knees softer right now as we take our chest toward our thighs. Wiggle your chest to your thighs. Take your tailbone a little bit higher. And then we're gonna press, straighten the legs, press through the right heel, bend the left knee. And then press through the left heel, bend the right knee. And pedal your feet a few times. So we're gonna go through a down dog to plank flow. So this is gonna be hard on your wrists. You can come down onto your forearms and do it. Let me show you first and then we can go from there. So we're gonna take the tailbone high and then we're gonna kind of round the back. See, I'm rounding my back. And I'm gonna shift forward to plank. Hold it here. And then lift up again. Draw the navel in and up. And we'll come back to down dog. So let's do that. We're gonna flow through that 3 times. If at any point you need to come onto your knees or onto your forearms, go ahead. So let's take a breath in. Exhale, draw the navel in, round the back, come forward, breath in. Exhale, pull the navel in and up and come up, inhale here. Exhale, forward into plank. Inhale. Exhale, pull the navel up And one more time. Exhale, come to plank. And then exhale, pull the navel in and up. And then take child's pose. Take a breath there. So yeah, we're building a little heat here. A lot of core work today. A lot of work on the pelvic floor. And this all helps release the back. So that's why we do all this. Okay, so take another breath in child's. And then we're gonna do that one more time, 3 times. So come on back up onto your hands and knees. And again, you can come onto your forearms if you need to. You can from down dog to your forearms if that's hard on your wrists. All right, so from wherever you are, on your forearms or your hands, take a breath in. Exhale, round the back. Shift forward, stack your shoulders over your wrists. Inhale. Exhale, pull the navel in and up. Inhale. Exhale, nice and slow. Take your time. Take a breath in. Exhale, pull the navel up and back. And then one more time. Exhale, nice and slow. Come forward. Inhale. Exhale. All the way back. Down dog. And then come back to child's. Take a breath. Okay, so come on back up. And we're going to do something. We've not done this before. And there's a couple ways to do it. If you do have a wall, let me demonstrate at the wall. And then, well, actually, if you don't have a wall, we're going to come to down dog. And you're going to take your right leg up. Okay, and then maybe walk your hands. I'll walk you through it as we get there. If you have a wall, you're going to come to the wall. And we've all done this before when we were in a classroom, right, in the studios. Our heels are going to be up the wall in down dog. And then we're going to take the right leg up. So that the top of the foot, the toenails are touching on the wall. And then we're dropping that right hip. All right, so whatever works for you. If you're just in, you can just take your leg, in the air if you don't have a wall. So let's come to down dog, heels at the wall, if you're at the wall. And then we're going to extend the right leg up. Now we're going to walk our hands in a little bit. All right, now drop the right hip down. And we're hugging the inner thighs in. And I never said this was easy. So we're just trying to hold it here for a couple more breaths. Really engage your triceps. Breathe here. Maybe you can walk your hands in a little bit more. One more breath. And then place that foot down. And let's take child's. Just take a breath. Or you can bring your hands behind you and kind of help stretch out the wrists. Or even just sit up and stretch out your wrists. Kind of gets the heart rate up too, right? All right, so let's set up for the other side. We're going to do that again. So we're going to come onto into our down dog, heels up the wall if you're at your wall. And then we're going to extend the left leg up. Drop the left hip. So even if you're extending your leg in the air, we drop that left hip, right? We're hugging the inner thighs in. And then maybe you can walk your hands in a little closer towards your feet. Engage your triceps and your biceps. 3 more breaths. Go where you can go. Open the chest, but drop the hip. All right, take the foot down. Come on back to child's. Oh, okay. All right, come on back up. We're gonna do that again. So if that was easy and that felt good, you can continue to do that. If that was challenging, again, you can come onto your forearms, lift your leg, or you can come to the wall or the chair and lift your leg like this. We're still getting that hugging in action that we're working on today. So again, go where you can go here. This is not an easy pose. It's a little hard on the shoulders if you've had some shoulder injuries. So just kind of go where you can go, honor your body. So let's start in wherever we're gonna start, down dog. I'm gonna stay at the wall. Take a breath in, and then extend the right leg up. Drop that right hip, no matter where you are. If your hands are at the wall too, we drop the right hip. If you're in down dog, at the wall, walk your hands in a little bit more. 3 more breaths. Inhale, and every exhale, we're still hugging the navel in, right? Drawing the pelvic floor up. 1 more. Exhale. Place that foot down. Come on down. Stretch out your wrists. And then 1 more time, other side. So set up in your down dog, or your hands are at the wall. Take the left leg up the wall. Drop that left hip. Walk your hands in. Inhale. Exhale, draw the navel in. Breathe here. 3 more breaths. Open the chest. Forget to engage the abdominals. Try to keep that left hip dropped. 1 more. And then we'll take the foot down. We'll come back into child's. Take a breath. We're done with that. Yeah. Let's come up and stretch out the wrists a little bit. That's a little hard on the wrists. So just come on up. You can kind of shake them out. Let's take the right arm out and just stretch through the wrist. And then the other side. Keep doing, come on here. Do that for a couple more breaths. Okay, you can go to your place. Go to your place. All right, so let's come up to standing. And we're going to, again, this is, if you have a wall, we're gonna use the wall. If you don't, you can do this on your mat. We're gonna take the block, and we're gonna place it between our inner thighs. So if you're not at the wall, you're gonna sit back into chair. Otherwise, we're at the wall. We're going to sit back and we want our shoulders against the wall. And again, we're doing that hugging in action. So hug into your block, draw your navel in and up. Now, if you can, if this doesn't bother your knees, maybe you can sit a little bit lower. If it starts to bother your knees, come up. Squeeze in. Keep the shoulders at the wall if you're at your wall. Just a couple more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze into the block. That squeezing and the drawing up of the navel in and up, and the activation of the pelvic floor. That helps release the low back. So let's do that 1 more breath while I let Molly out. And then just go ahead and come to standing. So we're going to keep the block between our legs. or a pillow or a book or something. And if you don't have anything, that's fine. We're just coming to Tadasana. So right now our hands are at our sides and we want that same hugging in action, right? We're turning the inner thighs into the block like we're trying to even shoot the block out behind us and then draw the navel in and up, take the belly up towards your chest. Hug it in. Root down through the soles of your feet. Shoulders back and down. The crown of your head rises to the sky. 2 more breaths like that. Hug the inner thighs back. All right. So go ahead, release, and we'll put the block down. Come to standing. We're going to take our feet wide and turn the left toes out, right toes in, and then extend the arms out. So we'll take our block behind our foot, and you can put it on any height, low, medium, or high. Arms extend out. So inhale. Exhale, reach out over your toes. So we'll start with our right hand on our hip and take your left hand on your block or even on your shin if you don't have a block. And we're stacking the right shoulder over the left. And then we want this left inner thigh to rotate out and even this right inner thigh. So we're again opening, hugging in here, but opening up the hips here. And if you want, you can extend your right arm up. And just find your gaze. Continue with this external rotation of the left leg. You're pushing into your block and then reaching through the fingertips or your hands on your hip. But we want to get this right shoulder over our left. And then just carefully come up. Bring your block. We're going to switch sides. So legs are wide, heel to arch, arms extend out. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to reach out. The left hand will come onto our hip and the right hand onto our block or our shin. And we want to get this left shoulder over the right. And again, this right leg is churning out. The right hip is churning out and this leg is churning out. So we're opening up the hips. We're also pressing down through both feet. So we're going to pull the energy up. Then if you want to, you can extend your arm up. Even here, as you inhale, we exhale. Draw the navel in and up. And then come up. Bring your feet parallel with each other. Step your feet together. And stand in Tadasana for a breath. Just collecting our breath. Coming back to just a standing pose. But even here, it's very active. We're rooting down through the soles of our feet. We're drawing the kneecaps up. Hugging that imaginary block between our legs, drawing the navel in and up, shoulders down, crown of the head rises. All right, so let's take our feet wide again. And you start with your hands on your hips. We'll turn the left toes out, right toes in. And then we're going to bend into the front knee. So we want to try to get that right front knee over the ankle. And we want to get that same thing, right? This external rotation of this left leg where the knee is over the second or middle toe. Shoulders still stay in line with the long edges of our mat. So we're warrior two. And then we're just going to let the arms float up. like we're just placing them on a lake. And then you can gaze over the left fingertips. Hug that left hip in to get that external rotation, get that knee over the front foot, kind of the middle toe. Inhale, root down through both feet. So lots of activity in this back leg as well. Draw the right kneecap up, rooting down through the right foot. Straighten the front leg, bring your arms down. Let's bring both feet together. I mean, not together, parallel. And then we'll turn around the other side. So now the left toes will point out, right in, hands on our hips. Bend the front knee. And bend it deeply. And we want to take that front knee over the middle toe. So again, getting this external rotation. The knee wants to drop in, right? But we talk about this a lot when we do this pose. We really want to get that external rotation here so that leg is active. Back leg is super strong, and we're rolling into the outer edge of our left foot. And then just let your arms float up. And then you can gaze over your front fingers. Strong legs. Rooting down through both feet. Lots of stability in the feet. We're still hugging that right hip in to get that external rotation of the right leg. And then straighten the right leg. Bring your feet parallel to each other and then step them together. And then you can take down dog at the wall. Or you can just come into down dog on your mat for 5 breaths. Just to stretch everything out. All right, one more breath. Come back to Tadasana. And again, check in here. This is always a good pose to kind of reestablish our foundation. Come back to our breath. And then we're going to step our feet wide again. We'll turn the left toes out, right toes in. We'll start with our hands on our hips. Bend the front knee. So we want that front knee in line with the middle toe. Now we're going to take the front elbow, so the left elbow onto our knee. This way you can actually help get that knee over a little bit more toward that middle toe. And then we'll take the right arm up and in line with our ear for extended side angle. And we're pressing into the outer edge of the right foot and reaching through the right fingertips. Use this elbow to help open up that hip. So we're taking that, hugging that left hip in, and then rooting through both feet, rooting down. Carefully come up, straighten the front leg, bring your feet in alignment with each other, and then we'll switch sides. Hands on our hips, square off the hips, then we're going to bend into the front knee, which is now your right knee. So even here, we're opening up the right hip, and then we'll take the right elbow down. And we can help take that knee toward that middle toe. And then we'll take the left arm, so we get down and around in line with our ear. Pressing through the right foot, reaching through the right fingertips. Lift the chest. Lots of support in both feet. Really stamping down both feet into your mat. And then come up. Straighten both legs. Step your feet together. Come to Tadasana. Take a breath. All right, we're gonna do that again. This time we're gonna use a block. So let's take our feet wide, turn the left toes out, right toes in. Hands come onto our hips. Bend the front knee. Hug that hip in so that right front knee is tracking over the middle toe. Arms extend out. This actually keep your right hand on your hip. We're gonna reach down and place our hand on our block. It's in front of our foot. So there's 3 heights to the block. High, medium, low. I'm gonna use medium, middle. And we wanna hug that arm and the knee in toward each other. So hugging in, we're still getting that hugging action. The right shoulder stacks over the left. You can keep your hand on your hip or extend your right arm up. Hug that knee and leg and arm into each other. Really feel that hugging action. And then the back foot is strong as well, right? We're rolling into the outer edge of that foot, taking the right kneecap up toward the thigh. And then carefully come up, straighten the front leg, switch your feet around. We'll place the block in front of the right foot. Hands on our hips. Bend the front knee. Bend it deeply. And then we're just gonna float the arm down. So don't rush it. We're gonna come down onto our block. And then work on that hugging action first. So hug the right knee and the right tricep into each other. So it's kind of like you're pushing your leg to get that knee over their third toe, but then the leg is pushing into your arm. Stack the left shoulder over the right. And if you want, you can extend your left arm up. Left leg is really strong, right? We're rolling into the outer edge of the foot, drawing the kneecap in. Even here, we're getting that hugging action. One more breath. And then slowly, carefully come up. Put the block aside. Carefully step your feet together. Come to Tadasana. And check in here. All right, now if you have a wall, we're gonna do this at the wall. If you don't, you can do one of those 2 that we just did. Let me demonstrate what's going on at the wall. I'll just do it this way. So I'm gonna take my left foot at the wall, right foot back, and I'm gonna bend. You wanna be far enough away that you can reach with this top arm. So I'm gonna bend the left knee, take my elbow on my knee, and then I'm gonna reach my right arm up and over. So my fingertips are at the wall. So you wanna have enough room here that you can get your fingertips on the wall, but that where you can really kind of push in and get some length there. All right, so let's do it together. So we'll start with our, I won't mirror you on this one because I'm gonna switch sides. So we're gonna start with our left toes at the wall, step back with the right foot, bend into your left knee. Okay, so we start with warrior 2 legs, and then we just take our elbow down onto the left knee and start with the right shoulder stacked. And then we'll reach the right arm up and over to the wall. And then you kind of crawl the fingers up the wall. Press into the wall, get that length through the right side. Inhale, we're still connecting. When we exhale, we're still drawing that navel in and up. Keep going. Don't let me stop. I want to come in and see how everyone's doing. Good. One more breath. Good. And then slowly, carefully, take your time. It's a big stretch. Come up, step your feet together. Take a breath. And then we'll set up for the other side. So now our right foot's gonna go toward the wall, facing the wall, left foot steps back, bend into your right knee. We'll take our right elbow onto our knee. Set that up. We still want to get that knee over the middle toe, and then we'll take the left arm up the wall. And crawl your fingertips. So feel that nice long stretch through the side body, stacking that left shoulder over the right, taking your knee towards your middle toe. Inhale. Exhale, engage your abdominals. Pressing through the outer edge of your back foot, engaging that back leg. Can you crawl your fingers up a little bit more? And then carefully take your time. Come on up. Turn your feet in line with each other. Step them together. And come back to Tadasana. Check in here. Okay, so we're going to do a couple balances now. This is probably the only time we use a chair today, but I do have it here just to show you in case you, or you have a wall, you all have your walls if you, I just know you've been using walls. So if you need it, have it nearby. So we're just going to start in Tadasana, checking in here, rooting down through the soles of our feet, shoulders back and down. And then we're going to just take our right foot on top of our left. So you may need a chair, right? You might need, even here, and this is that hugging in action, right? We're getting that hugging in, and then you can bring your hands to your heart center. So start to find your balance. Notice what's going on. The inner thighs are still hugging in toward each other. Don't be afraid to use something to stabilize yourself. One more breath. And then place the foot down, back to Tadasana. Other side, so just bend the knee. We're going to take the left foot on top of the right. You can stay here with your hands on your hips to get your balance. Then maybe take your hands to your heart center. And yes, it's even this feels like it wouldn't be that challenging, but right, it's a balance, right? So we're coming back to our balance. We're going to find that hugging in action. Exhale, draw the navel in and up. And then place that foot down, come back to Tadasana. All right, now we're going to go a little deeper into that pose. So we're going to bend the knees, pick up the right leg, and you can cross it over and touch your toes down. You can start with your hands on your hips. So this is option one. Some of you might be able to tuck your foot behind your calf. But then the knees are going to twist over to the left, so we want to bring them back forward. All right, then you can bring your hands to your heart center, or you can take your arms out, and we'll take our right elbow under our left, bring our palms together. So there's this hugging in action right here, right? We're hugging the inner thighs toward each other. Lift the elbows. You can bring your thumb down to your head again. Maybe you can sink a little bit lower. Keep going. Lower we can go here. All right, and then slowly come on out, standing in Tadasana. Catch your breath. So we're going to sit back again. We're going to pick up the left foot, and again, maybe use your chair here. Maybe touch your toes down. You can start with your hands at your heart center. Maybe this is enough for you, stay right here, or maybe you can tuck your toes behind your calf. But when we do that, your knees are going to come over, so we're going to bring them back forward. So with the hips square, arms extend out. We bring the right under the left.
Touch your thumb mound. I'm coming out of mine. Thumb mound to your head. Find your balance. Find that spot to focus on. And then we're hugging the thighs in toward each other. Try not to grip the toes. Use your breath. And then carefully come on out. And let's take down dog again. At the wall, on the mat. Take a breath or two. All right. And then come on back up. We're going to do one more balance. So again, it might be nice to have a chair or be near your wall. We're going to sit back again and cross the left ankle over the right knee. And we're going to sit back and then bring your hands to your heart center. Keep the chest lifted and open. Maybe you can sit a little bit lower. Go where you can go here. Don't be afraid to use a prop if you need it, if you're feeling a little wobbly. Keep your chest lifted. One more breath. And then carefully come on up, standing in Tadasana. Catch your breath. We'll sit up for the other side. So we'll take the right ankle over the left knee, sit back. Take your hands to your heart center. Find your balance. So it helps to find a spot to focus on when we're in a balance. So find that spot. Just kind of straight out in front of you, or maybe just down toward the floor. Maybe sit a little bit lower. Just go where you can go. And then come on up. Stand in Tadasana. Take a breath. Okay, now let's get our strap. I have one here. Okay. Now, if you do have a strap that has a buckle on it, make a loop. And you want the loop shoulder wide. So as wide as your shoulders. If you don't have it with a buckle, that's okay. We'll just use our hands. But if you have the buckle, go ahead and do this. And we're going to step our feet wide. We're going to take the strap around our wrists, behind us. Okay. And just right here, we're just going to stay here. Keep your feet in line with each other. And we're going to pull our wrists into our strap. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Draw your navel in and up. Draw the kneecaps up toward the thighs. Just pull into this strap. Open up the chest. Lift the chest even more. Stay here for another breath. And then we're going to hinge forward. Now, we don't want to let the hips go back. We want the hips to stay in line with our ankles. So we're just going to hinge forward and bring the arms up and go where you can go with your arms. Still pulling the loop apart, like you're trying to pull the loop to the right and to the left. Arms are going to come up and overhead. With the crown of your head, drop toward the floor. Draw your kneecaps up. Root down through the soles of both feet. And then carefully bring your arms back down towards your hips. Come halfway up, and then come all the way up. Step your feet together. Put the strap aside. And let's come back to downward facing dog. So just come onto the mat in a down dog. On your forearms, on your hands, pedal your feet. Stretch that out. And then come onto your hands and knees. Now we're gonna flip over. And then come onto our backs. Keep your strap right next to you. We're gonna use the strap. So we're gonna stretch out the legs. We're doing a lot of work in the legs. So if you have your loop, we can put the loop around the heel. We're gonna take the loop or the strap around your right heel. Extend the left leg long. Take the right arm down toward the mat. Flex through both feet. You're pressing your foot into your strap and your strap into your foot. And then take your strap over into your left hand. And take your right thumb into your right hip crease. We're going to take the right heel over in line with our left shoulder. Gently press that right leg away. Flex through both feet. The left leg is strong. We're rolling the inner left thigh toward the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your leg up. And then let's switch sides. So we'll take the strap around the left heel. Right leg goes long. All right, now the straps are in the left hand, and we're just locking that left shoulder down. Or if you've got a hold of both shoulders down. We'll take the left thigh away from our head. And then we'll take both ends of the strap into the right hand. Left thumb is going to come into the left hip crease. Inhale here. Exhale, take your left heel over in line with your right shoulder. We're going to press that left thigh away. Right leg stays nice and long. Lock the right shoulder down, keep the chest lifted. And then inhale. Exhale, bring the leg up and the knee. Take the leg long. Back over to the right heel. Both ends of the strap into your right hand, or you're holding onto your loop. Left hand on your left hip. Inhale. Exhale, lower the right leg out to the right. You can put a blanket underneath your hip if you'd like. Pull that left hip down toward the floor. Keep the chest lifted. Left pinky toe points up toward the sky. We're getting that left inner thigh rotating down toward the mat. Inhale. Exhale, bring the leg up. Bend the knee, remove the strap, and we'll switch sides. Strap around the left heel. Both ends of the strap into the left hand. Right hand on your right hip bone. Lift the chest, inhale. Exhale, lower your leg out to the left. Pull the right hip down toward the floor. Inhale, lift the chest. Roll that right pinky toe up to get the inner rotation of the right thigh. One more breath. Stretching out those inner thighs. Inhale. Exhale, lift the leg. Remove the strap. Put the strap aside. Bend both knees.
We're going to slide the right foot over, take the right knee over toward the left foot. And then maybe take your left foot onto your right thigh. Check your alignment, make sure the right knee's in line with the right shoulder. Stretching out the legs, the hips, maybe take your right arm overhead. And you can take a hold of your right wrist with your left thumb and forefinger. And breathe here, lift the chest. Maybe drag that left heel down your right thigh to get that length through the entire right side. And then we'll uncross, bring both feet back onto the floor. Knees point up toward the ceiling. And we'll slide the left foot over and let that left knee drop in towards your right foot. And then maybe take the right foot onto your left thigh. You can kind of know what's going to work for you on each side, right? If it's too much, you don't have to put your foot on your thigh. And then we check our alignment, make sure that our knees in line with our shoulder. If you want to go further, you can take your left arm overhead, take a hold of your left wrist with your right thumb and forefinger. Okay. A couple more breaths. Maybe drag that heel down your thigh. And then come on out of that. Bring both feet back on the floor. Take your right foot behind your left heel. Let your right knee drop out. For external rotation, stay here with your left foot. Maybe bring your heel in front of your shin and let the left knee drop open, or just bring your left foot onto your right thigh and let the left knee drop open. Again, just depending on what your hips are telling you today. It doesn't matter what they told you last week. All right, maybe last week this was easy, and this week it's not, so listen to your body, go where you can go. Arms can come overhead. You can hold on to your opposite elbows, lift the chest. Deep breaths in. Even here, as we exhale, we're drawing that navel in and up, engaging the pelvic floor. One more breath in. Exhale. And then come on out. Bring both feet back on the mat. Take your left foot behind your right heel. Let that left knee drop over to the left. Stay there, right where you are, or one of the options. Right heel can come in front of your left shin. Maybe your right foot comes onto your left thigh. And you just take your right leg straight. And then maybe arms come overhead. Or hold on to your opposite elbows. And then go ahead and come on out of that. Okay, so let's get our strap again. Keep your block nearby as well. We're going to start with a strap. And if you've got the loop, we're going to do the same thing we did in Prasarita. If you don't have the loop, just hold on to your strap. Either way, let me demonstrate. So if you don't have the strap, we're going to slide it under. We've done this before. You're going to turn your palms up and hold on to your strap, palms facing up.
We'll go into bridge. If you've got the loop, we're going to slide our hands into the loop. And then we're going to go into bridge, but don't go in yet. So right now, set yourself up or whatever you have. And we're going to walk our feet in. Take a breath here. Root down through the soles of both feet. We're going to lift our hips up and walk the right shoulder under our chest and the left under our chest. We're opening up the chest. If your hands are in your loop, you're pulling the loop apart, or your palms are facing up and you're holding onto your strap. Take the low belly up towards your chin. Squeeze your inner thighs into an imaginary block. Walk the shoulders underneath your chest. Pull the strap. Lift the chest. And breathe. Hugging in. Hugging in. We're going to come down one vertebra at a time. So upper back, middle back, lower back. You can put the strap aside. Okay, let's take a breath. Now let's get our block. So now we're going to take the block. We were hugging into an imaginary block. Now we're going to have a real one. So you can use the strap again. I'm going to use a strap again. But some of you, if you'd like, you can interlace your hands underneath your hips, or you can use the strap as we used it with our palms up. So whatever works best for you with your hands and your shoulders. We're going to walk the feet in. And now we're going to squeeze into the block and lift our hips up. Walk the right shoulder under the left. Walk the left shoulder. Right shoulder under the chest, the left shoulder under the chest. Pulling your strap apart if you've got the loop. Or if you're interlacing, you really come onto your triceps to lift the chest. Draw your navel in towards your spine on your exhalations. And it also draws up towards your chest. Now we hug into that block. Squeeze into that block and breathe. All right, and lower down. One vertebra at a time. Once you're all the way down, windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Then roll over to one side. We're going to come up to a seated position. Okay. So sit nice and tall. We're going to come into boat pose. So there's lots of options here. So we can lean back, and you can stay right here with your hands behind your knees, chest stays lifted, feet are down. Or you can pick your feet up and continue to support your legs. Or you can extend your arms. We're going to hold it here. So let's do it together so we're not there for longer than the 5 breaths. So wherever you're going to go, lift the legs, hold it here for 5 breaths. Deep breaths, keep the chest lifted. 3, 2, 1. Now place your feet down. Take your hands behind you so your fingers are pointing toward you. You're going to walk your feet in just a little bit. We're going to lift up into tabletop. Lift the chest. Again, if this is too hard on your wrist, don't do this one. One more breath. Carefully lower down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Come into bridge. Hold it here for 5. 2 more. Don't be afraid to hold your knees if you need to. And then place your feet down. Hands come behind you. Lift up. 5 breaths. Broaden across the collarbones. Lift the hips. Draw your navel in and up. 2. 1. Slowly lower down. Take a breath first. Set up. Inhale. Exhale, come to boat. Navasana for 5, 4. Keep the chest lifted. 3, 2. You want to feel this in your core. 1. Place your feet down. One more time. Tabletop. Walk the feet in just slightly. We're going to lift the hips up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Have a seat. Come into Sukhasana. Cross your legs. And then walk your hands out. Just go where you can go here. Oh, stretch that all out. Press your hands into the mat. Walk your hands back and let's switch sides with it. Switch your legs around. The same thing. And walk the legs out. And then walk your hands back. Now we're going to lower onto our backs. We're going to go nice and slow. We've been using our core a lot today, so let's use the core strength to lower down as slowly as you can. And then come all the way down onto your back. Hug your knees in. And then we're going to take our knees over to the right, only as far as you can go to you feel like you're going to fall over. And then come on back. And then over to the left. And back. And just go from side to side at your own pace a couple times. Feeling a massage on your low back. And then come on back to center. Cross your right leg over your left and hug your knees in. If that feels easy, you can slide your hands down to your ankles. Gently pull your legs apart. Take your knees over toward the left. Keep the chest lifted. And we'll switch sides. Uncross, cross the left over the right. Hug your knees in. Hug them in first. And then if it feels easy, you can slide your hands down. Pull the legs apart, just gently. And then we take the knees over toward the right just to deepen that stretch. Hopefully this feels good. Nice big stretch in the hip. Keep the chest lifted. And then uncross. Place your feet down. Let's cross the right ankle over the left knee. You can leave your foot down or you can pick the foot up and slide your hands through the legs to clasp around the left thigh. Draw your left knee towards your nose. Use your right elbow to press that right leg away. And here too, you can take your leg slightly over to the left to go back into that belly of the butt, that piriformis. Chest stays lifted. Bring the knees up, uncross. We'll switch sides. Left foot can stay down or you can pick it up. Slide your left hand through and clasp behind your right thigh. Draw your right knee toward your nose. And we'll use the left elbow to gently press that leg away.
And even take our legs slightly over to the right to deepen the stretch. And lift the chest. Come back to your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Even here, draw the navel in and up. Feel the pelvic floor engage. And then come up, uncross. Bring your arms out to your sides. Cross the right leg over the left. And take your knees over to the left. For just a gentle twist as we pull down, wrap up our practice. If you don't want to cross your legs in this twist, just uncross them. Chest is lifted. And then bring your knees up, uncross. Square off your hips and take the left knee over the right. We'll take our knees over to the right. And then bring your knees up, uncross. Hug your knees to your chest. Take your forehead to your knees. Give yourself a big hug. And then we'll find Shavasana. So you can place your feet down. Maybe take your feet wide. Bring your knees together. Lift your chest. That's one option. You can roll a blanket up, place it underneath your knees, and take your legs long with your knees supported. Or you can take your legs up on a couch or a chair. You might want to put some socks on or cover up with a blanket or put your t-shirt back on. We got a little warm today. Maybe you can put a blanket underneath your head. And then once you're settled in to your comfy spot, we still want to lift the chest. We still scoot the shoulders underneath the chest, palms face up. And we scan our body. Just checking to see if there's anything else we're holding on to. If you find any places that are still a little constricted, a little tight, just send your breath there. See if you can just relax and let that go. Let's relax our jaw, our temples, our fingers and our toes. And let your entire body melt into the earth beneath you. And I'll ring the chimes 3 times when it's time to come out of Shavasana. Just let everything go right here. can begin to awaken your body. Start to bring movement into your fingers and your toes. Deepen your breath. Maybe reach your arms overhead, get a big stretch. Make your way over to your right side. And let your head rest on your right shoulder and your right arm for a breath. Just slow yourself down before you make your connection back into your day. And then when you're ready, with your eyes closed, you can come up to a comfortable seated position. Notice how you feel. How do you feel since we checked in at the beginning of class, the beginning of practice? Let's notice all the changes in your body, your mind. Let's take notice. Maybe just feeling more peaceful or more open, more energized. Let's take our hands to our heart center and thank ourselves for getting on our mat this morning, for doing all of this great work for our body and our mind and our spirit. We'll thank all of our friends who joined us today virtually for being here, for their energy. And I thank you so much for being here today. Have a beautiful week. Namaste. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks.